Get involved now. Be on the right side of history. Be on the side of good. Wear the white hat. This is your chance to be involved in human history.
You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker.
There's a fucking murderer right down the hall.
We should not submit to dehumanization. I don't know about you, but I'm concerned with what's happening in this world. We're going to stand up and we're going to be human beings. We're going to get fired up about the real things, the things that matter. Creativity and the dynamic human spirit that refuses to submit. Well, that's it. That's all I got to say. It's in your court.
Known as the father of psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud claimed his father molested all of his siblings. Freud was a cocaine addict, as well as a pedophile advocate, who taught that children sexually lusted after their parents, and that children who reported sexual abuse by adults had either imagined or fantasized the experience. He believed that women were the problem with society, and all their problems stemmed from not having a penis. Freud's grandson, Sir Clement Freud, has been accused of molesting multiple young girls and was suspected in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Sigmund Freud's sister, Anna Freud, whom Freud claimed was regularly molested and abused by their perverted father, gave birth to Freud's nephew, Edward Bernays, the father of propaganda. Bernays took his family's work in psychology and used it to help governments and corporations manipulate the minds of the public. Hired by the American Tobacco Company, Bernays manipulated women into buying more cigarettes by convincing them that smoking was a form of feminist liberation. During this propaganda campaign, he dubbed cigarettes torches of freedom. Thanks to Bernays and his family's twisted legacy, social engineering became big business. Modern psychology was used to exploit mankind's mental weaknesses, nurture the public's lower desires, and turn people into mindless consumers. Is it any surprise, then, that the great-nephew of Edward Bernays is none other than Mark Bernays Randolph, the co-founder and original CEO of Netflix? Does anyone really think this is a coincidence? Netflix has not only replaced network television as the premier home of pop culture, it is also continuing the degenerate, depraved social engineering of the Bernays-Freud legacy. In 13 Reasons Why, Netflix was accused of romanticizing suicide during a recent increase of teenage suicides. In The Devil Next Door, they were accused of rewriting history to deceive viewers into believing that Poland was responsible for establishing Nazi death camps. In The First Temptation of Christ, Jesus Christ is depicted as a homosexual. And a Texas grand jury indicted Netflix for depicting child sex in the movie Cuties. Netflix and chill, the new preferred method for brainwashing the masses. Brought to you by one of the most depraved, degenerate families of the modern era. Turn it off and wake up. For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese.
The answer to 1980.
Welcome to Decide What Side. We are now live, right from Austin, Texas, and Eastern Oregon. Wow, what a crazy video, man! John Bound, everybody. Shout out to John Bound, who he actually follows me on Twitter. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not saying we hang out, but hey, Man, I don't hear anything.
My fault.
There we go. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. No, I have Jamie White and Patrick Howley following me.
Oh,
so
shit.
What? So
That's
what?
pretty good, man. Patrick Howley is pretty badass. He breaks a lot of stuff.
Dude, I one day I want to get him on, dude. Like, pick his brain.
That would be incredible.
He's a fighter, dude. Like, I like his spirit.
Dang.
Like, I like it.
That
He's just like, no, I'm taking it to you every day. Anyway, so yeah.
Decide what side to do list.
Yeah. Decide. Anyway, so decide what side. Pedophile side, not pedophile side.
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant divide.
How come you pointed at me when you said that?
No reason.
You were like,
pedophile.
Like,
the pedophile side or the not pedophile side.
I just want to put on the record, the side with side is 100% against all forms of pedophilia. And
yeah, I don't even. Yeah, we don't even entertain that. Like, I won't even discuss it. Oh, let's have a talk about child and their sexuality. No, you're sicko. Get out of here.
Yeah, like, what the hell is going on, man? And, like, isn't that incredible? So, look, Sigmund Freud was a weirdo. I know they teach us stuff here, but everything you just read is facts. I've been knowing this stuff. I thought this is like public knowledge at this point. Everybody knows Sigmund Freud was a weirdo. And now I didn't know he was molested by his dad and that it was all a multi-generational pedophile.
Supposedly everybody but him. All his siblings but him.
Shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he's not screwed up. I think that was a whole persona.
He's from one of those Satanist cults, man. I'm pretty sure he's from one of those multi-generational ones. Well, anyway, this dude's descendant ends up being the CEO of Netflix.
Right. Which, I don't even like Freud. Who cares? Okay, he wrote some ideas and he thought some stuff. As far as I know, he didn't actually do anything. Now, Edward Bernays, he actually did stuff. He actually propagandized the world. And Netflix, they are doing stuff. I'm just saying, like
the whole family has a record of pedophilia. We know how pedophiles operate.
Right.
How they make more. So do the math, people.
Right. And that's the thing. Everybody wants. That's the thing. Everybody
was like abused traumatically as a young kid. I mean, like, I already know, man. So this dude is projecting that onto the whole world now. And like, because he went through it, now he thinks pedophilia is. These people think pedophilia is like. I don't even want to talk about it. It disgusts me. It makes me want to throw up. But
it's just, and it all starts. Everybody wants to, say they've used the word prude, in a negative way. I'm like, I don't know, prude? You mean I don't think it's okay to fuck kids? I don't think there's 20 genders. I don't think it's okay for Caitlyn Jenner to be a governor because I don't want a mentally ill person as a governor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's stupid. We were just talking about it. I think it's dumb that Caitlyn Jenner, like, so now it's looking like even the media's hyping her because it's a transgender person, and now it's like, okay, you get to have a Republican governor, but it's gonna be a transgender, and the Republicans are shoving this crap down everybody's throat. Like, these people know the base is against this, but they're pushing it because they're compromised. They're being told push this, other than the ones that are like neocons,
right?
But I just say, like, it's ridiculous, man. It's from both sides. Don't forget, the Republicans were always like the other wing of the same monster,
right? Why we endorse people liking that Lady MAGA? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not against transgender people because I don't feel like that's correct. But I don't like it. That Blair White dude.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't like watching interviews with it, her, him. Like, I don't like it. Sorry, I'm a bigot. Big deal. But you know what? That's freak shit. You're mentally ill, so you decide to find another mentally ill doctor to cut your dick off. Like, I don't, like, why am I supposed to like this person at all? I'm like, that person needs help. That person needs an insane asylum. Like, dude, if I just walked up to you with a butcher knife and be like, Chris, I'm gonna cut my dick off, you would try to stop me and maybe get the cops over to get me some mental help, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, all I'm saying is, like, when a person has anorexia, it's because they're very skinny, they're bone thin, they're like starving to death, but they see themselves as fat. So there's a disconnect between the mind and
reality.
Yeah, and like it's the same thing for these people that say, I'm a woman. And like they got it's like Michelle Obama's got a big old freaking flashlight in his pocket.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go there, but whatever. We fuck it.
Oh, here we go into the Michael Obama territory again.
I mean, I keep a cucumber in my pants, don't you? What? What? You keep a roll? I keep I've kept a few roll quarters in my pants before. It's cool. This is what everybody does. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a real dick. It was actually a strap-on. Well, shouldn't that be concerning?
Yeah. Either way, man. Something's not right there.
Yeah, it's like Trump can drink water like this, like with his fingers out, and they're like, "Oh, that's a sign that he can't do anything." And we're gonna analyze it. We're gonna have 10 different experts talk about how he drank his water, but we're not gonna talk about the potential Johnson slapping around inside Michelle's dress. We're not allowed to do that.
Crazy. Clown world, 100%. Well, yeah. So like,
Clown world would at least be entertaining.
Why don't we see like the parallels between anorexia and like transgenders? And I'm not saying all of them are like in the exact same category. There's like different levels of transgenderism too. All right. Obviously we get that, but you know what I mean? There's still a disconnect there. We're talking about the Michael Obama types.
I say we give liposuction to anorexia sufferers. That's what we should do.
Hell no! What? Isn't
yeah, no. If we're gonna like people who are mentally ill say they're a different sex, if we're gonna do it for them, okay, we're gonna take anorexic people and give them liposuction.
Exactly.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You come up with that yourself?
Yes.
Dang, there you go. Decide what side, innovating on all fronts.
Yeah. So no, and and the thing is, I'm sorry, transgender people are violent statistically because they're depressed and they're men. Most of them are men. Remember Caitlyn Jenner? Remember Bruce Jenner when he first switched and he's on that TV show? I don't think he hasn't even chopped off his wing wang, dude. He still has it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had
he still has it. I mean,
yeah, I know, right? It doesn't count. He was on a TV show with this other guy, and this other guy saying like, just because you get a surgery doesn't mean you're a different sex, and I don't care. And he's like, I don't care. It's dumb. This is all dumb. This is a mental illness. And Bruce Jenner leans over, grabs him like a man, says, "You don't say it," and just like squeeze his shoulder, and it's like he's gonna assault him.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, I'm just like, wow, okay, yeah, real ladylike. Right?
That was Ben Shapiro, right?
I can't remember.
Ben Shapiro cracked out, man. Ben Shapiro cracked out. He was like, "Wow, that's very well." That's
I would have freaked out. I would treat it like a man. That's just me. But
bro, sit your ass down, bro.
Like, no, like someone grabs me like that. Like I've had people grab me like that before, and like I just grab their thumb and pull it backwards.
Wait, what?
I'll break you. here,
Oh,
and
like
you
this?
you can grab their thumb and pull it back or whatever.
Dang, Wesley,
And
violent.
break.
Well,
Dude,
good,
I'm
it's
sorry.
good.
But
I mean,
it's like, no, like people grab me like that. I'm not okay with, especially on TV. You're trying to make a message. You're trying to dominate over me in front of millions of people. Go fuck
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, and that's what Ben Shapiro bent over to. I mean,
That motherfucker walks out of Home Depot with a board that's like 2 feet long in a paper bag. He decided he needed to put a single board in a sack. Yeah, dude, someone come outside Home Depot and he's walking out with like a board in a sack, in a paper sack. And it's like, what the fuck, dude?
okay,
Why
let
do
me
you?
play.
Anyway,
Okay.
I'm just saying, Ben
Okay.
Shapiro's a bitch, but he didn't deserve to get grabbed like that.
Dream.
I don't want Bactarvi. Damn it!
That's a funny way of putting it.
I tried Bactarvi. It grew an extra penis. I can't do it.
Forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male, with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that his bone structure is male. It turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is irrelevant to the question of his biological sex.
I don't agree with that. I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train. She wants to be called she.
I'm not on that train.
I just have a problem with
Man,
the
this
message
dude
and the
is
message.
not.
So well, let's
Man.
I'm going to do two things. I want to reiterate what Zoe said, which is the bifurcation of the courage to come forward after a lifetime as a male and
This
a
is
certain
a
kind
fucking
of a male versus did she
Who's
that dude in the
this
dress?
award? Listen, the awards.
Yeah.
What are award ceremonies?
I'm like, dude, this dude can probably throw football like better than Tom Brady.
Well done, ABC. They did exactly what their job was: attract eyes. They did it. That's what award ceremonies are for. But in terms of the science behind gendered dysphoria, you're very familiar with that, Zoe.
Very familiar.
It's not about the chromosomes.
Yeah, they're gonna fast
excuse me, the
forward. They're gonna
chromosomes
fast forward.
within our
It's not about the chromosomes.
Necessarily mean you're male or female.
gender.
Genetics. Oh,
What
I don't know
the
what you're
fuck?
talking about.
Gender
of course.
identity. Go ahead. No, so
Especially but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's
Look
syndrome.
at this fucking
So you don't know what you're
bodybuilder.
talking about. You're not educated on
Would you like us
genetics.
to discuss the genetics? Or
well,
not?
no,
What are
no.
your genetics?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home and ambulance.
Oh, even worse than I thought.
Mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well,
You know,
but wait, to be fair, but to be fair, you're actually being
Wow. Someone just physically threatened him.
Rude. to
Oh,
say that
dude.
he's biological
Oh, man.
as a male.
Dude, that black dude is such a
Hey, dude. I'm just thinking about myself in that position. Oh, dude, he would have caught a backhand.
He was
Right, a
like,
back fist
"Hey,
right to
bro."
the face. Dude,
Hey,
it
bro,
would
cut
not
that
have been
out.
funny. I would,
Cut that
but
out, bro.
he felt comfortable doing it to him. He felt comfortable doing it to Ben Shapiro. That's
Yeah.
the point.
He was
Dude, like put
cut that out, bro.
I-
You're going.
dude, I want Alex Jones in that seat. Dude, I want, someone like that.
I would
I even
pay
want-
top dollar for that shit, man. Like, I wouldn't buy myself $150 sneakers, but I'll spend $200 on that pay-per-view right there. You know?
Dude, fuck. It's like
Seriously.
Caitlyn Jenner and Alex Jones debate. Boom. Just say debate and just throw it out there. Don't even give them a topic. Just go. Blood
It'll probably be
sport.
over like 5 minutes. I
He
actually
does-
be like, look, sir, and then bam.
And it's like Alex would go through all the Alfred Kinsey, how they, Germans putting pedophiles with kids. We're going through all the Netflix and Edward Renee stuff. It's just like, go. And you don't know what you're talking about. And everybody noticed, what was the only defense that all of them had against Ben Shapiro? I don't like Ben Shapiro, but I'll give him this. Was the only defense they had. Whoa, that's not okay. That's not how we talk. That's not what we do. You can't say that kind of stuff. None of them argued his point. None of them wanted to get onto the point. They're just saying, well, we're all different, and we've got these new ideas, and, we all know this. And it's just like, and like Ben Shapiro asked, he still has Bruce Jenner's genetics. Genetically, Caitlyn Jenner is Bruce Jenner.
Yeah,
And that's true.
I just think it's ridiculous how now they're saying if you don't say she, now you get $1,000 fine or like what jail time maybe in some places. Like seriously.
Yeah, in the UK and everything.
But at the same time,
dude.
and at the same time, like Chinese soldiers are fucking learning how to fight tigers while they're blindfolded, and got one hand tied behind their back. And like we're over here doing all this dumb shit,
I think that was an exaggeration, just so everybody knows. You had me going for a second.
Okay.
I was like, no shit. No shit. Tigers blindfolded.
Okay, yeah, maybe I went over. But yeah.
Oh, that made my side hurt. Shit.
Yeah,
the fact that you had me going in my own head was fucked up. No, anyway. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was I saying?
You're saying while they're fighting tigers blindfolded, we're having tranny hour.
Yeah, and it sucks because this is how you get taken over, and like I think we need to realize where the real enemy is at.
Right.
The Netflix CEOs pushing pedophilia, no big tech. The globalists that are poisoning you, and like the bigger picture, right? Poisoning your mind and body, and they've been doing this for generations. I mean, this dude goes back to Sigmund Freud, that his family's been like working on dominating the human domain.
Right.
So like when people doubt that there's a one side or another, like you can see the history of the other people.
Right.
They've been working at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw and Caitlyn Jenner, and everybody, Nikki Haley supports her. So, that's always good when a neocon warmonger wants to support you. That's the person I need. Dude, it's like
Nikki
even
Haley's such a snake.
And people who want to be Republicans because I'm sorry, a lot of people want to be Republicans because they want a big group to be with. They can go anywhere in this country and be like, I'm a Republican. And there's going to be somebody who's gone, ooh, I like you kind of thing. So they want to be part of that group. And,
Is that true?
I think so. They want to be part of the big group. They're just like, okay. It's like, that's the group. GOP, conservative, whatever, those umbrella terms. It's like anybody who thinks about getting into politics, you can't trust the GOP. This is the direction the GOP is going. Trannies, warmongers, and China just on different from a different way of payment.
Yeah. No,
so
for sure, man.
That's your future in the Republican Party.
Yeah, this is where you got to see, like, yes, in one case, obviously voting for Trump was the better option than Hillary because Hillary was going to, like, start going crazy on Russia. She would have handed the keys over to Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping would probably be walking around naked in the White House right now if Hillary had gotten elected. But we got a bit of a break. And I'm not saying Trump is perfect. Obviously, he's not. And now we're starting to see that, too. I don't even want to get into that. But Trump is starting to say some worrisome things. And we're going to keep it real. But yeah, like at the time, it was the better choice. But now we got to step back and see, no matter what you do, the swamp is too big and the globalists are the ones really running things. And now that we have woken up, generally speaking, like Trump was a one big sucker punch to the globalists, as Alex says. But now they're awake and they realize, we were starting to realize how the puzzle fits together. And so now they're like fighting back even harder and full force. It's like, all out war.
Right.
We're still in the first stages, but
right.
like you see them fighting for control.
Yeah, you gotta. It's pretty bad. Like everyone wants to. People think that like the conservatives think that the gay LGBTQ people and all that and a lot of black and Hispanic and minority communities, they think like, oh, we just need to do outreach to them and we'll win. We have the white suburban middle class guy, and then they like leave them out. But in the process of leaving out that demographic, they're leaving out everybody. Like who's like it doesn't matter in the end. They say like, oh, the Hispanic vote, the white vote, the black vote. There is none of that. A lot of it's class. We're still kind of an English way of doing things. There's class. There's rich people. There's middle class people, and then there's poor people, and then there's like really, really white trash poor people. And like, I'm sorry, that's how our brains tend to work more often than not. So that's what they say. They say
more government because they want more.
Yeah,
stuff.
when they say minorities, they mean poor, on welfare, under the government thumb. That's what they mean. They don't care if you're white, black, whatever. They just know the white people have been told to genuflex, saying help the minorities. So therefore, the poor white people will tend to vote more of that. Not even poor. I don't even want to say poor. Just a demographic, like low information people, not poor. That's a bad. Yeah, get that out of there. But low information people
vote Republican or Democrat?
No, Democrat, and they want bigger, more government and all that. And it's not even that Republicans are a better form of government. It's just the people, like the libertarians and people actually want more freedom, tend to drift that way for the longest time. Now I think they're just trying to shove all the reasonable people out of both parties. But I think that's a good thing, because then all the reasonable people from left and right are going to get together. And all the other sides. They're going to all get together, and we're going to just trumps all the establishment.
Man, but yeah, the battle is waging. I mean, I think going back to the first subject, and we got another video coming up in a few minutes. Yeah, like Sigmund Freud was talking about how kids are sexually attracted to their parents, and like kids are like sexual and all this stuff. And he started like the very first wave towards now where you have transgenders giving lap dances to 8-year-olds and showing them,
right,
strippers and shit at the public library. I mean, that's how far we've come. So, we need to start seeing where they're going with this, and then look at the writings, look at what they believe. A lot of these people are like into the occult and shit, man. Like it wasn't a joke. The whole time they were cultists and pedophiles.
They want to suck at your life force, which when you say life force, it means your time, your energy you use in the day, your health, your mental state, everything. Your privacy. That's it's all they want to steal it. They want to steal all that. We all know there's certain things that you want. You want your privacy. You want to be able to defend yourself, and you want to be able to say what you want and not hurt anybody. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you can do what you want. We all want that. Now, the Satanists want the complete opposite, and they've convinced most of the population that it's what do you call it? Good. Whatever. Had a better word for that. Good. It's essentially a good thing to do this to the people because it's for their own good.
Beneficial.
Yeah, it's beneficial to them, so that's why I have to do it. when most people don't realize all they're doing is helping the globalist further their plan. People may have good intentions, but they're furthering the globalist plan. That's what most people don't realize. They're participating without knowing it. But the globalists feel that if we tell you in books and in propaganda and sometimes in your face and you don't do anything, well, that's your fault, which is not how it works. They just think they can get away with it because they do that. So they can talk about drinking kids' blood on TV. And it's fine. We can inject young people's blood into us, and it's great.
Speaking of which, I have a video just on that subject.
Oh, do you? Shit! Really?
Yeah. Back here.
If you were to watch Schindler's List, you would say, "Boy, that was terrible. I wish I was around that. Maybe I could have done something." But you can do something now, because they're pulling kids out of the darkest recesses of hell right now, in dumbs and all kinds of places. The adrenochroming of children.
Yeah.
Actor Jim Caviezel is being ridiculed and defamed in the mainstream news for speaking out against child trafficking. While promoting his new film, Sound of Freedom, based on the true story of former U.S. government agent Tim Ballard, who quit his job to devote his life to rescuing children from global sex traffickers, Jim Caviezel described what adrenochrome is.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If you're an athlete, you get in the fourth quarter, you have adrenaline that comes out of you. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline, and they have a lot of terms that they use.
The Mockingbird media responded by firing a chorus of headlines into the brainwashed minds of the public, all to the tune of adrenochrome and the consumption of children is a dangerous right-wing lie.
It's crazy.
Millions of people waking up from the generational sleepy lie of pop culture are seeing the ugly truth, seeing the millions of babies aborted each year, sold for fetal body parts, seeing old women rub aborted fetal tissue into their skin to appear younger, and seeing official science comparing young blood to the fountain of youth. It doesn't matter how many times the lying fake news media decries QAnon, conspiracy theorists, or right-wingers. Millions are now seeing what they have been busy hiding: the trafficking of children, slavery. Caviezel warned that the film may never be seen because there are very famous people in Hollywood involved in child trafficking.
And once they see the ships that they transport the children in and all of this stuff, well, there's no other film like this. Our industry can't make this film right now because of a lot of people that are involved in it all over the world that are in this. And many of these people are very famous.
He even mentioned dumbs.
Because they're pulling kids out of the darkest recesses of hell right now, in dumbs and all kinds of places.
Deep underground military bases, which we were warned about in 1995 by former government engineer turned whistleblower Phil Schneider. People have always been telling us this ugly truth. Alex Jones and David Icke, William Cooper, Manly P. Hall, all the way back to Aristotle. And now it's all coming out into the open. The apocalypse, the revealing of what was once hidden. Like Plato's allegory of the cave, there are millions who keep themselves ignorantly buried in the mainstream lie. But millions of us are awakening to the evil truth, and we demand justice.
And these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them.
For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese.
Crazy video. Wow, that's a hardcore subject, man. But yeah, this is all true. I mean, if you really want to know what's going on, You got to be ready for the truth, man. A lot of people are not ready for the truth. I mean, I wasn't when I first heard about this.
If it's so batshit crazy and ridiculous, why do you need to write stories against it? That's always been my thing.
And then they fabricate things, and then
well, if it's a lie, and it's all BS and unbelievable, then why even care? Ignore it. Do you write down a notebook what the schizophrenic is yelling on the side of the road? No.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, actually.
So,
yeah, it's like how they say when the dog barks at the moon, nobody cares. But when the moon barks at the dog,
it's funny. No, dude, an influential person I tried to talk about this stuff to, like I tried to tell him about all this, and I was like, "Here, dude, like, why don't you look it up and everything?" And he just looks at me and says, "You've been reading too many conspiracy blogs."
Yeah, like, I hate when I'm trying to tell people something, and they're like, "Oh, let me guess, one of your conspiracy theories." I'm like, "Bitch, this is like, I have the fucking article. I'm sorry, we said we weren't gonna cuss."
Yeah, I have the documentation. I have the evidence. I've done the research, and
here's the CIA study. Here's the official briefings. Congress.
It's like here's like, you want to go talk to them about their records because they're all fucked up and full of if they're all screwed up and full of lies and everything, then why don't you go talk to Congress? They're writing lies down. Shouldn't that be enough? No, it's fine. You know, the government. I tell people the government will take you. The government will take you and put you into a forced labor camp. And they're like, no, they wouldn't. Our soldiers would never do that. Yeah, guess what? Army, civilian inmate labor camp. Boom! It's a job to be a guard at a civilian inmate labor camp. It's like,
inmate labor camp.
Yeah. So it outlines how to take your social security number, how to detain you and process you and separate children and all that. And it's just like, that's an actual job in the military. Can we talk about that? It's just like, no, that's a conspiracy theory, though.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's in the books. That's even later on. But I mean, they're planning on rounding people up. I mean, it'll get there at some point. I'm not saying it's gonna be next week. That's another thing. These people are always saying, "Oh, you said it was gonna happen. It's been 2 months." It'll get there eventually, and like by the time you realize it, it'll be too late for you anyway. You that are laughing.
It's successive. It's successive approximation, I believe is what it's called. It's like it gets worse and worse, but it doesn't increment. So you're like, oh, what's the big deal? You know,
it's like the boiling frog in the hot pot.
Yeah, you don't think it's a big deal. Just put it a little bit more. Look at what the COVID thing. Like 2 years ago, I want to go up to everybody and be like, I want to go back in time and be like, hey, government's gonna lock you down, try to make you stay in your house, and they're gonna make you shut your business down, and they're gonna make you wear face masks wherever you go. Dude, people would have laughed their asses off and called me a nut job. It's like, wow, it doesn't take much for y'all to break, does it? That's what bothers me, I guess. Doesn't take much for normal people to break.
Yeah, I mean, people can't handle the truth. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, because we've got more than enough evidence. And then I hate everybody gives you the same line of, oh, well, we would have found out. Why isn't it on the news? Showing just how you don't really understand the full. I mean, really, those guys own the news. How about that?
Right.
What's it called? His name Maxwell's dad was like a big newspaper dude, media. Ted Turner.
Yeah. I've invented a litmus test for a person when it comes to like information, like whether they have the full story or not. You say, what does Cecil Road mean to you? Like, who's Cecil Road? What does the Anglo-American establishment mean to you? You know, Rhodes Scholars. Because if you don't understand that, you don't understand shit. If you don't understand the Rhodes Scholars and how they operate and the Fabian Socialists, you do not understand anything.
Yeah, dude. They started everything, man.
So it's like, I'm sorry, you ask people, what do you know about the Rhodes Scholars? What do you know about Cecil Rhodes? And what do you know about the Fabians? Tell me. And if they can't tell you anything, they don't know anything. They need to study more, and they have blinders on, and they are manipulated by the government in some way or another. And even people who are like somewhat awake, they're still manipulated by government. Like, oh, I don't know if the vaccine works, or I think the vaccine's a good thing. Or I think, the mask makes sense in a way. And it's just like, could you actually look at some scientific studies from, actual universities? And, would that be cool? Could you do that? No, I'm just going to go with what the government tells me to say. It's like, wow, some woke motherfuckers you are. Sorry, some woke people you are.
Yeah, like I was at this church and it was cool. I mean, I went in without a mask. Nobody's ever told me anything. Most people don't wear it. But there are still a few, man. I would say like 5% or less that like wear the mask, even though they know it's not mandatory. Nobody wears it. Nobody cares. Nobody says anything. I mean, it's stupid.
I know.
Like, there's still people out there that, they think they're smart. They think they went through college, so they're part of the educated, enlightened class. But, like, they still fall for these, like, what should be pretty simple, I mean, because of the way I see it is once you figure out one part of the puzzle was rigged, it's easier to see all the other parts where they're screwing you over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, once you realize one part, at least when you realize, yeah, they're evil and they're trying to sexualize the kids because they're, into this perverted sexual crap and they're into the occult,
Right. No, we have all these people who are in charge who don't really have a spine. They take orders from evil people. It's not that Hillary Clinton's my enemy. It's not that Nancy Pelosi's my enemy. It's not that even like sicko perverts like Edward Bernays are my enemy or Sigmund Freud are my enemy. It's the people behind them. The people at the Privy Council. They're a lot to do with this. I was watching a thing today. If anybody, Crowdsource the Truth is a great little place. He does one-on-one talks with people with alternative news, like researchers and everything, talking about certain things. Well, he talked about this one company in the UK, and it's part of Serco, which is a company owned by the Privy Council, essentially, of the United Kingdom. And what they figured out was this company, it bailed out the government at one point, and it'll bail out sectors of the government. Well, instead of getting money back for bailing out the sectors later, like a normal loan, they say, let us take possession of these payment processing services, like child support, welfare, Social Security type stuff and all that. And they said, give us that and we'll forgive your debt because we project it makes this much money, blah, blah. Well, what they do is they take more funds than they're supposed to. They raise your rates. And then they tell people you have to do A, B, and C or else you won't get the money. And they get to regulate that. And that happens in Canada and the UK and maybe America, I'm pretty sure. But that's the kind of the thing they do. And it's just like, that's what they do. They take something, they take people who want to build something, people want to actually make a society and make everything, whether good, government bad. I don't care. People want to do good and make things better all over the place. That's how most people are. Most people aren't psychos. These people become a leech off of the back of that. And now these companies that take these processing payments, they are worth more. There's articles saying they may own more things than anybody else on the planet. $20 trillion in worth. You want Bill Gates think he's rich? These guys are rich. So it's like that's how all this works. It's not that these people can produce anything. These elite are actually not elite. They're just parasites, and that's all they are. That's all they ever will be. That's all their fathers were.
Yeah, and like these same families, man, have been running everybody. Just I always like to use Kamala Harris as an example. Her mom and the Indian side is like the top Brahmin caste. The ones that. Because they used to go by race, and the lighter ones were at the top. Okay, so her family's been at the top for generations. Just imagine how much she must have trampled over all the other poor Indians, man. Because India's hardcore over the years. And then on her dad's side, they used to be slave owners, and they were the biggest slave owners of Jamaica. In case you didn't know, Jamaica's all black, so
Hey, after slavery was outlawed in Jamaica for importing from Africa, he started using indentured servants from Ireland. So
dang, that's crazy.
Just so you know, he didn't give a shit. And he was proud of it. Sorry, he didn't care, and he was proud of it. But but I guess her family must have taught her how to indoctrinate children with books. If we want to get to that story.
Wait. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Indoctrinate your slaves with your underclass, bring in the people to enslave them, and then brainwash them with your propaganda and literature like Kamala Harris decided to do with her book.
Man,
you got it?
Nope. So where is it?
It's in the Gateway Pundit. But so the little bags that illegal aliens get, Kamala Harris's book is inside. All the kids, they get a Kamala Harris kids book. Isn't that just wonderful? And she's supposed to be running the response. It's like this is nobody, dude. If you took this to a screenwriter and this was in it, he'd be like, "Dude, take this out. This is absolutely ridiculous."
Hey guys, did you just hear what we said? Did you hear what Wesley said? Let me read the title one more time. Kamala Harris's book is included in welcome packs for migrant children that are being sex trafficked. Oh, look, you're being sex trafficked, but look what Kamala's doing. Many of them trapped in jam-packed batting cages. It's ridiculous because it's way worse than it was under Trump. And now they're being sex trafficked in the open. And we've got videos of militant dykes in Santa Muerte, tattooed bodies, sagging and shit, moving children back and forth. I don't know. We did. We saw that video together.
Yeah, the MS-13 granny.
Yeah, that lady is man. I know she's a pedophile. I just know it.
Dude, I'm sometimes I feel like if I lived there and I seen Alex Jones and I seen that woman on the street, I don't know. It's like broken knees happen. Car accidents happen. Whoops. Oh, damn. I ran through an intersection. My fault. Oh, it killed her. Shoot. My fault. Guess I gotta go to jail. I don't know. But then again, that wouldn't be a worthy sacrifice. I could do more on the outside. So, But it's like this lady, I don't know how someone could even how can someone be like that? I guess she's been abused too, obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. Well,
she was the hardcore slave who killed all their other slaves.
Kamala's Kamala's book, Superheroes Everywhere, is included in welcome packs for all migrant children entering the U.S. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's ridiculous to me. This whole, oh, we're so nice. And, oh, it's
We
because
give them
we're-
children's books. It's like, I know of tons of children's books that are way better. And honestly, like how many of those kids actually speak English and read English? That seemed like a pretty like
Right.
advanced book for that. Shouldn't
For
they like?
real.
It's like if
think
I
about
went to
that.
Mexico, dude, I need a picture book, dog. I can't do this like book, a regular book. Like I can't do
Yeah.
it. But anyway,
Yeah, why are they giving them English books?
I assume it's her publisher getting a backdoor deal, and then she gets money. It's a good way to launder money.
It's funny how they close the article out. Kamala makes quite a superhero after she slept her way into politics, and the rest is history.
Hey, remember, Kamala Harris learned everything she knew at the knees of Willie Brown.
Hey, that's really what happened. So Kamala was a nobody. She starts dating the mayor of San Francisco, and then
What?
Oh,
She would
that's
just stay over at his house. She would just stay over at his house at night, naked. What's the problem?
Kamala is like, man, she's like, she'll do anything for power, man.
Use a hoe. Use a hoe.
30 years older.
You know, it's like I heard her skill. I heard her oratory skills as a lawyer are amazing. Anyway, dude, it's like I don't want Joe Biden to die because I do not want her as president. Like, no, it's like I like women too much for that to be the first woman president. You know, at least Hillary. At least she was a fucking badass bitch and didn't give a shit and killed her enemies. Like, Kamala Harris is just a catty, annoying hoe.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is so annoying. And, yeah, I mean, she's like really fake. It just, every time I hear her talk, it sounds like she's like putting on a show, and you can tell that she's doing it for the cameras and because it sounds good. You can tell it's all an act. You think Russia doesn't respect Kamala? They know she's there for the identity politics shit. She's there because she's willing to look the other way on corruption and is willing to be corrupted herself. You know?
Yeah.
She'll play along. Wow. Pixar Animation House releases casting call for 14-year-old transgender female cartoon character. Oh, okay.
This is Edward.
You know what? Special honor of today. This is going to be our dumbass of the day.
You dumbass.
Okay, well, here we have Kamala Harris having this moment right here. Check it out.
I think it is important to look at folks like Haley and Kelly and also say we're going to take note of the fact that during the pandemic, over 2 million people, 2 million women people became unemployed.
Cringy.
Can I replay this or not? Because this woman is like, she stays off that Xanax or something, man. Something is not right with her. She's always laughing.
I think she's high. I think she's just high on like the power right now, and she feels like
something
I don't know, dude. Some people can get a real high from power, and we've never tasted that kind of power, dude. We don't know what it's like. You know,
what do you mean? Like anything?
Vice
you say,
president, vice president, Congress. You know, like who everybody
and then
listens
she
to.
shows up. She shows up to her hometown, and like 2 people are there. 2 people with posters.
Can we have another honorary dumbass of the day before we go?
Yeah, sure.
That BLM, that link I sent you on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do that one, and then I saw this, and I was like, "Yeah, this lady's a dumbass." I mean, at some point we gotta start calling it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, why? It's almost like we want to just erase. I hope Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are just one of those like presidencies that we forget about. You know, it's like Taft or something. It's like nobody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know about this whole everybody gets to vote for a president, because then it makes it easier to rig the machines. I kind of feel like you should do it in person, like on video or something.
Check this out. Mark says Black Lives Matter founder says her mansion collection is direct support to black people.
Is there a video? Yeah, there's a video. I think. I want to. Let's hear it from her own mouth. What? Oh,
Sure there is.
They said there was. I hate ads.
I know there is a video. I just don't know where it is. Let me see here. Okay, technical difficulties.
Yeah. Anyway, right. I thought, what the. It's not that. Anyway, so backstory. Before we start this video, let's just do a backstory. So, Marxist BLM, they say they're trained Marxists. This lady likes to dance around in demon outfits and have everybody worship her. And so she bought. Yeah, that's a video for another day, I suppose. But yeah, she has these like weird like outfits she dances around. She's I think she said she's a witch, if I remember right. And she, I'm not making this up. Like, I mean, these people are into weird stuff. And she bought mansions. She bought $3.2 million worth of mansions and properties in Los Angeles. And now she's getting heat for it, and she doesn't know what to do. And so this is her lame-ass excuse. Can you find it or no?
I believe so. I believe it is this one. Okay, this is on screen. 1 second.
Yeah.
Man, these ads are just like BS.
I know. That they're stacking more and more on top of us, even though they're stealing more and more of our data.
Loudest protest chant in the last few years after the death of numerous black men, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor.
Is this a different thing?
And now Dante Wright. Their deaths sparked protests all around the country, indeed around the world. The Black Lives Matter movement has inspired people.
And again. Oh yeah. Oh, you skipped ahead too far.
Black Lives Matter movement has inspired people.
Impatient, Chris.
Disproportionately victimized, otherwise harmed by the police. But now, one of the people instrumental in the Black Lives Matter movement is also the subject of a major controversy. Joining me right now for a Black News Tonight exclusive, Patrice Cullors, the artist, the activist, the abolitionist, and of course the co-founder of Black Lives Matter. Patrice, welcome. Before we get into the discussion, I do want to get your thoughts on the recent death of Dante Wright. I want to
what are you laughing at?
To center, obviously, the lives.
Oh, the way he phrased it before she.
Of what's happened.
The way he phrased her, he framed her.
I mean, firstly, I just want to send all of my love and care to Dante Wright's family. It's painful. It's disturbing.
Look how she automatically
Anything Black
tries to
Lives Matter
say,
Global Network
try to use
can
him as
do
a
for the
shield.
family, we are here.
Oh, you can't make fun of me because I'm.
And I also want to send a lot of love.
Got a
to,
witch's wart,
Toledo's
dude, on her
family.
forehead.
Now that the video
Or
has
is that a
been
ladybug?
shared, it's
Hold on.
all really heartbreaking and incredibly disturbing.
And look at her eyes. There's something else
again
running this shit.
Again
Hey,
and again.
hey, can we later talk? Hold on.
Oh my bad.
Absolutely.
My bad.
So I want to pivot to the reason why you're here. In the last few weeks, there have been stories
see what this does.
that have become very prominent in the national media around you, and particularly around issues of spending, issues of income. Specifically, there were two stories that came out that talked about you purchasing homes. You reportedly purchased 4 homes, and we're looking even at another home. I believe in the Bahamas. There were conversations about how you spend money, and the stories also had a lot of innuendo about the relationship between your money and your spending, and the
how he smiles
around BLM Global Movement's finances. So the first thing I want to do is talk about what's true that has been said and what has been untrue.
I want to start, thank you, Mark. I want to just start by saying something that's really important for people to hear. And that's, I have never taken a salary from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And
it's not a salary if you steal it.
What the right-wing media is trying to say is the donations that people gave to Black Lives Matter went towards my spending. And that is categorically untrue and incredibly dangerous.
Only pay for what you need with Liberty Music.
Say it or not?
I just said that.
No, here, I'll just read the part since apparently there's no full video. I hate how they say video and there's no video. Anyway, sorry everyone, sorry. But anyway, so here, I'm going to read it verbatim. So at some point he asked her, so a critique from the left that would say, if you are a trained Marxist, if we're talking about a certain kind of radical politique, whatever, the extravagant homes of any sort or multiple properties of any sort is itself contradictory to the ideology you hold. And so it's not about having money per se, but it's about there being a potential contradiction between your expressed political and your lived practices. Colorado was told during the recent interview. So anyway, she says, sure, and I think this is a critique that is wanting. And I say that's because that the way that I live my life is in direct support to Black people, including my Black family members, first and foremost. She continued, and so for so many Black folks who are able to invest in themselves and in their community, they choose to invest in their families, and that is what I have chosen to do. She says a lot, and I support many other family members of mine, so I see my money as not my own. I see it as my family's.
I can't believe that.
It's like, what the frick? Like, really?
There's still there's like it was a 2-minute video, and I thought it ended there.
And she talks about how her brother's special needs, how her sister and her kids are living with her, and her mom and her everybody's gonna come live with her apparently.
Second, kind of glitched out here.
Yeah, what?
Oh, you kind of. Well, I lost connection for a bit.
Oh, okay. All right. I was smooth, except for you skipped.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That's not the other way around.
No, I mean, I didn't. Mine didn't. Nothing of mine interrupted at all.
Oh, okay.
All right. So yeah. No, she says a lot. That was not me. That was her.
You haven't taken a salary.
Give it, please.
So your income that you use to make whatever purchases you've made have come from outside.
Is this the question?
You've mentioned on your IG, and other people have talked about speeches,
funny how this dude
video
smiles
deals, book
when
deals
he's
for your
like
book, when they call you a terrorist. Your
exposing
income
her.
does not come from working directly with BLM, GM.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm a college professor, first of all. I also am a TV producer, and I have 2 book deals. My first book that came out was a New York Times bestseller.
Propagandist.
And
I'm also a diabetic.
I've had a YouTube deal,
I
and
know, we could tell.
so much of all of my income comes directly from the work that I do. But I also want to say something, Mark, that feels really important. Organizers should get paid for the work that they do. They should get paid a living wage.
Voice.
And the fact that the right-wing media
The tone of her voice is so fake.
create hysteria around my spending is frankly racist.
I have never taken a salary from Black Lives Matter, but I should have.
So I want to name that
Look how she says it's racist.
End up
stupid.
The work that they do. They should get paid a living wage.
A living wage.
Living wage.
Right-wing
or
media
buzzword. Buzzwords.
create hysteria around my spending is frankly racist and sexist. And also, I want to name that many of us who end up investing in homes in the Black community often invest in homes to take care of their family. So homes that I've bought directly support the people that I love and that I care about. I'm not renting them out in some Airbnb operation. And you could speak to so many other Black people and Black women particularly that take care of their families, take care of their loved ones, especially when they're in a position to.
That's an important
Look at
point
that gulp.
Again,
She's
when we look at the
nervous.
New York Post cover,
Yeah.
The first thing they say is
Can you pause it?
A spin.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is that this lady, for one, hey, if anybody wants to know, Breonna Taylor's family hasn't seen a single damn cent of any of this. If you just want to know. Nothing. Her mom says BLM has never talked to me. They use her name and they say I say this and that, and it's never true. They use her mom. They use Breonna Taylor's death if you care about her death. So for all this crap. And it's like the fact she says, oh, I have a YouTube and this, I have this, the fact of the matter is that you wouldn't have any of that if you weren't Black Lives Matter, bitch. You know? If you weren't Black Lives Matter, bitch, nobody would care. Nobody would give you a single cent.
Yeah, and then she was the founder, right?
Yeah. And the bigger problem
is the backbone.
and the bigger problem is it's the same thing that all the people in the hood complain about. It's like the people who succeed just move out and never come back. Like, if she's so concerned about the Black community, why doesn't she go to the Black community?
Be careful because we are in the hood and I am outside.
Yeah. No, but it's just like why doesn't she go there? Why doesn't she live there? No, she wants to live around all the rich, mostly white people.
Right? I thought Black Lives Matter.
Not if they're close to her. They don't.
Yeah, so the problem is that there's a lot of grifters in that movement. And then what about the part where they're like, we're against the family unit? I think that's
that's the biggest thing. And everybody, and I like certain people, like there's Michael Malice. I like him for a lot of his views, but he's on this weird trip. He has this thought that no, Black Lives Matter is fine, and they just people saying all lives matter. It's like, no, it's saying all lives matter and Black Lives Matter. It's just like this whole thing, like taking them at face value. It's like what they say in an interview on CNN. Like that's what they are, and it's just like, no, that's not what they are. That's not what they've been doing. And even if like they did have some altruistic, goal. The looting and the rioting and the violence and the murders, it kind of overshadows that. Sorry.
Yeah, that guy's kind of weird.
I like him for a lot of his anarchist thoughts and everything. But that's how the world is, dude. We can't all agree on everything, right? I think he's just
gay?
No.
What?
Not that Michael Malice? Not that I know of. No.
I thought he was. He acts like. Oh
no.
Well,
he's just a weird little dude, and he's a writer, dude, and he spends his life talking and making jokes and being a troll. So whatever.
Oh, okay. I thought he said he was. Maybe he was playing around.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe I'll listen to him then.
Alex did try to marry him on Tim Pool's podcast.
That's where I saw it. It was on Tim Pool's podcast. I was thinking.
He wanted to.
That's not what I was talking about, but yeah.
Alex wanted him, and he didn't want none of it. He's just like, so whatever. If you don't, maybe Alex is just a little bit too much for him. A little too much information.
He's Russian.
Yeah, no, that's kind of his thing. That's one of his things. He knows about Russia and all that, which is different. So it's nice. And anything North Korea. But regardless, my point is people are taking it at face value. And don't you like how he framed her when she came in? An abolitionist. Called her an abolitionist. Did you hear that?
No. Rewind it?
Because if we want to watch it more, I don't really want to rewind it. We can.
Okay. Well, it's at 4:55. Let me just see.
Matter movement is also the subject of a major controversy. Dante Wright. Their death sparked protests all around the country and around the world. The Black Lives Matter movement has inspired people to speak up for a race that has been disproportionately victimized, and otherwise harmed by the police. But now, one of the people instrumental in the Black Lives Matter movement is also the subject of a major controversy. Joining me right now for a Black News Tonight exclusive, Patrisse Cullors, the artist, the activist, the abolitionist, and of course the co-founder of Black Lives Matter.
Activist, abolitionist.
Death of Dante Wright. I want to.
Pause it.
Wait, what?
So wait, who the fuck has she ever gotten out of slavery? like an abolitionist. Wouldn't an abolitionist go? Okay, cool. You want to get people out of slavery, even black people? There's lots of it over in the Middle East and Africa. Go.
Yeah.
It's right there. Go be an abolitionist. You want to have cojones? You want to get my respect, dude? Go to Africa and start preaching about, no slavery.
Yeah, and it's actually the Middle Eastern countries, or not the Muslim countries. The North African ones. The ones that are they're a little more, I guess, Mediterranean mixed. Like Algeria. Not Algeria, but what's that? Mauritania.
Yeah,
Libya.
I think so. Yeah, it's open slave markets in Libya now since we decided to liberate Libya. Yeah. Obama liberated Libya, and now they have slave markets. Woo! So it's just framing. I don't want to get a fair, clean interview. Here's this golden god that you're not allowed to criticize. Okay.
Oh, Patrisse Cullors.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke when I first heard her name because I thought her last name was Cullors.
Cullors? Are you shitting me?
Yeah. Fuck. But it's not spelled like colors, like rainbow colors. It's spelled like Culloo. I thought
that makes it worse. That makes it worse. It's like
colors because of race and all that. No,
it's a CIA op, I swear.
But right? It almost sounds like too much.
Yeah. What? So are we gonna have? Does she have a dog named Starkist? Starkist. See the chicken. The little cans of tuna. So Starkist, dude. No. Watch Tommy Sotomayor sometime. I stopped. When he goes through some of the fucking names of these hoodlings, because he calls them all these little punks, in the black community who are making the rest of the black community look bad. It's like when he talks about him, it's like Starkist, and he makes a joke. It's like a guy comes into court. He's like, if a guy comes into court named Danrico, or like something like some ridiculous black name. It's like he's like guilty.
Yeah, don't say that too
Guilty,
loud, bro.
You're the one with the speakers on.
Yeah, but I'm the one that's gonna get shot, not you. Yeah,
but anyway, the point being, it's just like, why would you name your kids stuff like that? Colors. But anyway, Colors. That just sounds like a CIA cop. Yeah, like Colors. Colors does not make sense. Anyway, sorry, I'll get off that. That's just messed up to me. I hate CIA. I hate psyops, dude.
How do you say that? That's one of the.
Lasha.
No, because the dash isn't silent. Ladasha.
Ladasha. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh wow, that's too much. Can't handle it.
Yeah,
dude, it's like you know, it is, and a lot of it, dude. I think a lot of it's just programming. You know, there's stuff. There's so many things. Like just talking about that name thing, it's goofy. But I remember this one show I liked to watch when I was a kid. It was on Disney Toons, and it was called Proud Family. And me and my sister liked to watch it. And one of the characters, her and all her siblings were named after like spices, like literally cinnamon, paprika, and all that. And it was like, it makes me like that. It's like, is that a psyop? Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, it was wild, whatever. My mom was pretty strict religious, so it was like something somewhat wholesome, so she didn't mind it.
Oh, okay.
So whatever. So it was but yeah, it's pretty weird sometimes. I don't know. I think it's just this whole thing of like, oh, the white man stole your language from you. So now you got to make your own language now. It's like that? Oh yeah, I've heard that kind of shit. It's just like, it's just weird. It's like, okay, I understand. And there's a guy, Hotep Jesus. I kind of like him, but he actually does it right. He actually figured out his lineage of his African descent, and he actually figured out his exact like area and region. And he went back there, and he like just hung out for a while, learning about the history and all that. And it's like, okay, there you go. You want to say reject the white man? That's how you do it. You know, yeah. It's like, don't just like make up some bullshit that doesn't have any basis anywhere.
You mean like the Hebrew Israelites?
Oh yeah, dude, those guys are nuts. Fucking nuts.
Let's not go there.
Dude,
yeah, that stuff is pretty wild.
They like to go shoot up Jewish delis, apparently, you know, whatever.
Oh, really?
Don't you remember that? The Jewish deli in New York that got shot up like a year or two ago? It turned out to be 2 Hebrew Israelites.
Just for fun?
Well, they thought not the real Jews and all that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure the feds are involved in that.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, and I understand a lot of the black community have animosity towards the Jewish community because the Jewish community tends to buy up all the buildings. So it's like you have a Jewish landlord. Yeah, you tend to have a Jewish landlord owning like the hood. You know.
Dang, I didn't know
so there's a lot of times there's that power dynamic in people. So that's why you have the whole black attacking Jewish people a lot of times. Or Asian. Asian's another reason. That's another reason we have the whole Asian thing with the black community. It's weird. It's like they have landlords. They have the businesses. They have all the money. So then they hear on TV from CNN, which, you know, it's like they hear people with money are evil and they stole it from you. You know, so therefore they get mad at their landlord. They get mad at it's not. And that's just the propagandized ones. Like, that's the thing. It's like propagandized idiots. It's like 1%, 2% of the community. but it's like enough to cause havoc, maybe 10%. And it's like it's enough to cause havoc, but it's just like most people are everybody of every race is the same, dude. Like people just want to go to work, come home to their families, hang out, chill, have some sex, eat some food. I mean, we're pretty fucking simple. I mean, we're not like, we want to build better things because you know what? We don't like being cold. We don't like being hot. We don't like being hungry. We don't like being dirty. So we're going to make things better. So, yeah.
Yeah. Very true. I said we wrap it up there. That's a good note to finish it on.
Yeah.
That was tonight's segment of Words of Wisdom by Wesley Boyd.
Right. I might have to clip that out.
Yeah, we're working on the compilations.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing alt tech exclusives now. It's a little cool. So I have one on locals board right now. And yeah, it's just me under a tree talking about Chauvin and all that. And I'm going to do several others. I actually have a ticket of videos I want to do. And it's just going to be, I figured 10, 15 minutes each story. Upload it raw and dirty. Don't try to be fancy about it.
All right, cool.
Sweet. All right,
everybody, subscribe. I hope you paid attention to that tracker. That's got everything. Subscribe to Decide What Side. And don't forget, time is running